1 month before closing, I got the wonderful chance to interview Tom Smith, the manager of Exclusive Company in Green Bay. Exclusive Company has been a huge part of my life, and I would love to show everybody a look inside. Say it with me. A look back at Exclusive Company. So I'm here today with Tom of Green Bay Exclusive Company. I'm just curious about your journey with Exclusive Company, when you started and
Well, I started here in August of 1988 at the beginning of the month, and I was hired by Jim Smith, who at the time was the assistant manager, and he's becoming the store manager. Technically, I might have been here very briefly under Door's first manager, Debbie Drum. When I was working in the mall at Galaxy Sound, which turned into JR's Music Shop, and I used to shop here, and Jim Smith would inquire about me kind of jumping ship and coming over here, and which was very humbling that he'd have an interest in that. And at the time I decided not to, but eventually I came over to the Exclusive Company, and that was one of, if not the best decision in my life, one of the most pivotal decisions in my life, because almost 34 years later, I'm still here, and I'm sure if it wasn't for the Exclusive Company, I probably would have moved out of Green Bay or something like that. Really life-changing for me.
But Tom actually would stop over at the custard stand I worked at a few summers ago, and would see him often. And when I moved up in the area, I used to actually go to the Appleton Exclusive Company. So when I moved up here, it started becoming a lot more convenient to come up here. And you've always been a very friendly person. Every time I've came in here, I've never had a bad experience. Well, at least at this one. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot. So and you always gave great customer service at Zesty's when we stop in there on the Fox River Trail, which
I tried to.
Yes, no, you did a good job there.
So how has working in a record store or working in music, how has it changed, and how has it stayed the same since when you started?
When I started here at the Exclusive Company, we didn't even take credit cards. We were cash only.
Cash only.
We had to write up all our receipts by hand. We didn't have a fax machine, I remember. I was calling in this order to Columbia CBS Records, and it's this 900 pieces, and it's one UPC code after another. And
did you guys have a computer to type anything in, or was it just all paper?
No, we didn't get a computer here until 2009. we did not have the internet here at the store until 2009. So they're like, "Can you fax this into us? This is really a lot." And I'm like, "I can't. I do not have a fax machine here." And they're like, "Okay, let's continue on." So I became a buyer pretty early on in my career here. I started out buying Mercury records, and over the years I've been a buyer for all of them. And it was a lot of calling in orders. We used to have these cards down where if we sold the last copy of something, we'd write it down on it so we would know to reorder it. Actually, we were I think, more accurate that way when we got computers, because the computers would do it on a numbering point system where it decided some CDs that shouldn't be reordered, so they wouldn't put them in an order bin, but it was something that we actually probably should have reordered. So we actually did a better job before computers, I think, on our ordering. But it was so much more time consuming and labor intensive doing it that way. It's taken many hours a week. Well, how we did do it, unfortunately, about a month ago, I placed my last order ever here since we're going out of business. But the computerization and sending the orders electronically, it was quite the big change from when I first started doing orders here.
And were you ordering just albums, or when did video come into the picture?
When I first started ordering, I was buying CDs, records, cassettes, videotapes.
Did you guys have the different formats? Did you have Beta and VHS?
We never had Beta here. At least not when I was here. But I don't even, since we opened it in '85, I don't think Beta was dead in America before '85. So it would just been VHS. Okay. We've had other weird formats over the years, Columbia Records had the mini disc. It was a mini CD and a disc. And we used to try to sell those, which they really didn't. But it was a really failed format that didn't do well at all.
That was more of a thing in the UK, I think, that went over a lot bigger over there. It's cool talking about this kind of stuff because then I know a little bit more deep down into Exclusive Company and your experiences. And I know over the years I've gotten a lot of really good music here. And I just love this store. It's interesting how Green Bay and Appleton and Oshkosh all had their different flavors. Huge audio section, but then Appleton had their selection, which was very nice, home theater kind of stuff. And John was always very experienced and knowledgeable and very good with like, hey, like I want to bring in my turntable to get it fixed or whatever. It's always cool just to see all the different stuff that each of the stores carry. Has it always been that where it's like seems like a tailored experience per area?
Because basically the stores, they reflect the buying of the buyers and the manager and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, at one time we had 11 stores and all of them are really different. And that was the cool thing about Mr. G. He gave the managers the autonomy to run the store like they wanted and put in the music in that they felt their market needed.
Did he open in, was it 56?
56 in West Bend.
West Bend,
Yeah.
okay. And then he just kind of, I don't know, remember when Appleton came to be.
Well, West Bend was in 56, and then Oshkosh in 57, and then Appleton was 83, a little bit of a gap there, and then 85 for us, and I think Milwaukee or Madison, I think Madison was next, and that was 89, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So 88, 89 probably.
Yeah.
And then after Madison came the Milwaukee stores, we had 4 in Milwaukee at one time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So at one time we had 11. We had 2 in Madison, 4 in Milwaukee, Janesville, West Bend, Oshkosh, Green Bay, and Appleton. But then, the internet and big box retailers came around and kind of put a lot of record stores and chains out of business, and it caused us to contract a little. But
yeah,
we survived, you know what I mean, until now.
I always remember the Mr. G ads on the radio in the car. And sometimes on TV and stuff, just hearing his voice.
Kenwood, 8-inch powered subs, $149.99. 200 disc changer, $149.99.
What was he like a person?
He was definitely eccentric. The expression, they broke the mold after him. He had his set of ways. He wanted things done, and you did them his way because you knew you had to do it the Mr. G way and stuff. Yeah. And his managers' meetings were very interesting. He'd have these stories and stuff that would wrap up in a point to illustrate what he's trying to educate us on, or he's always trying to make us better managers and work.
Yeah.
He was like a force of nature, you know what I mean? He's full of energy, and he worked 7 days a week, and he had his certain ways. It was very interesting.
I always found it interesting here on the radio about him, Kenwood car stereo, it's like, holy crap, that makes me want to buy something.
Oh yeah, those ads are iconic and pretty famous.
The Exclusive Company is selling out. $1 million worth of Kenwood home stereo.
The Exclusive Company declares war on high prices. Charge!
I remember when I was a kid, there wasn't much for music stores. It was all edited music and whatever pop music was popular, but they didn't have much of anything else. And I just asked my mom, I was like, hey, is there anywhere else we can go? And she's like, oh, let's go to Exclusive Company. So I remember going in there and my mom picking up Steve Miller Band Abracadabra on CD and stuff like that. Just having my first experience going there, and then in high school, getting my driver's license. They had this really cool guy that worked there. And sometimes he would give me the movie posters off the wall, and him and I would talk about Devo a lot. So he'd be like, oh, if you like Devo, you should listen to these people. And he would give me good suggestions on music. And it was always a really cool experience just seeing what kind of music I could get there. And then when I started coming here, I remember walking in, you were always very welcoming. As soon as I came in here, hi, is there anything I can help you out with? And you're a very good people person. So I just really admire how kind you are and how many years you've been doing this. I think it's just amazing that to be able to be a shopper here for so many years.
Well, thank you. Retail's tough, so I'm glad I can still not get too cynical and burnt out at times, you know what I mean? Because it's rough, and at times you do have your low points, and you have to rise back up and remember, like, you're here to have a good time and not let other people's vibes bum your day. You know what I mean?
Right. So you say you've been doing this for 34 years?
And then I worked in the Galaxy selling JRs for 4 years in the mall. So this October, it'll be 38 years I've been working in record stores. Yeah, so yeah, it's been I've had a good ride. I've been very lucky to be able to do that.
What keeps you doing this? Like, what's your favorite part about it?
I don't know. I mean, I hate to say this, but at this point, it's kind of just what I do, you know what I mean? I wake up in the morning and I go to a record store, so, like, part of it's kind of like almost like autopilot in a way, like, you know what I mean? But I guess I don't have an ambition, you know. I never had an ambition like this wasn't enough for me and I wanted to do something else, so I loved my job, so why not just do it, you know what I mean?
Right,
so, you know what I mean?
right.
So, but yeah, so, like, probably this place going out of business is the only thing that'd get me not to work here. So it's it'll be definitely a new territory. It'll be kind of interesting. Who knows, it may be better and everything, you know, so, you know what I mean? I'm going to be working less. I work too many hours here, so I'm definitely not going to work more than 40 hours a week anymore, so. So, like, I'll have more time to, like, enjoy life and stuff, and I think that'll make me a happier person also. So.
I like what you said about, like, not being cynical after living with this. I noticed, like, when I was in Appleton, the manager there just seemed like he was just, like, done, like, no more, just seemed like he needed a break. So.
Yeah, well, oh my gosh, our first 6 days of our liquidation sale here and in Appleton was so intense. We did in 6 days what we normally do in an entire Christmas season.
Oof.
And Appleton did more than that, actually, so, like,
wow.
Yeah, it was a beat down, but get through, I don't know how many weeks we have left exactly, but, you know, probably the third week of June, middle of July, somewhere in there, so.
June, July.
So it's about, I don't know, 8 weeks or something like that, so.
I'm not looking forward to this.
I hope we can wrap it up actually before July 1st, because I just want to have a summer to enjoy the summer. Wrap up instantly, but wrap up not too long, you know, rest and figure out what the next chapter of my life is.
It's going to be a big shift, but there's a lot of people that know you in the community. I'm sure you're a good networker.
Yeah.
People that, like, something's going to work out awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'll find something. So.
Sad thing is, like, there's going to be a little bit of a hole in the area with records and stuff. At least there's, like, rock and roll land and
well, I also have a friend of mine who actually is looking to open up another record store in town.
How have, like, record store days been? Like, was the first one, did you guys do it in 2009 or what?
Oh yeah, we did it every year. It's been around. Yeah, we did it, you know, golf. I think it was 15th year this year.
Oh wow.
So we were on the ground floor of it and stuff. Yeah, the first one was more like a pure celebration of record stores, and then as they went along, it kind of got to be just about people buying records to flip, unfortunately. So, but it kind of became a monster out of control. But I always found some good records they put out on those record store days. So
I found a lot of really good stuff.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I'm just really appreciative that I've been able to find so much great stuff here over the years, and thank you so much for doing this interview.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
It was a fun
It's
time.
good to see you,
Good
dude.
to see you, and I'm sure our paths will cross in the future.
I hope so.
So I won't worry about that. So
Awesome.
So cool.
Say it with me, the exclusive company.